Hello. I want to tell you there's a potential money crisis coming for our children, a predicament that can negatively affect our entire economy. It's all about our casual relationship with cashless spending. Cashless transactions are increasing. Most of our purchases are made with money we can't see or touch. And this is increasing over time much more rapidly than we might have realized. Over 50 years ago, when I got married, my husband and I had a checkbook and a checking account, and we had one credit card, and that was for a gas station. At that time, we couldn't even get a credit card unless we had worked 6 months at our job. So credit wasn't easy to get. So we had to manage our cash very carefully. Then eventually, there were credit cards. Now we have debit cards. Now we have all kinds of electronic fund transfers. We can spend money at our keyboard. We can spend money on our sitting on our cell phone without really paying attention to what's happening. And part of this, I think, is because as we adopt all these new methods of spending, we don't quite master them. We just keep doing it and learning from our mistakes. A debit card today is the new cash. It's the cash you can't see or touch, but it takes that money out of your checking account instantly. And without keeping good records, especially if two people are sharing an account, it can be very difficult. So our kids are growing up in this. They're comfortable with technology, but I don't think they know how to manage the numbers. My book is about teaching kids to manage money as a number. And this is a skill. Money management is a skill of making decisions. Now, parents with all good intentions in trying to help their kids learn about money don't want them to make mistakes. So they put a lot of guardrails on. They require kids to ask them for money or to spend money. And so the kids aren't learning to manage money. They're just learning to follow the rules. But if you're trying to help your kid learn to ride a bicycle, you have to let go. If they're going to drive a car, you have to turn over the car keys. So kids have to have complete control of their money. And because money is now a number, it's a different kind of a skill. And according to T. Rowe Price survey, kids who manage their own money have better money habits. I recommend starting in preschool. My 3-year-old started her own No-Cash Allowance. By the time she graduated from high school, she had 15 years of making decisions about her money. This is a valuable skill to take into adulthood. As I said, money management is about making decisions, and they only learn from mistakes. A $10 mistake by a kid is a gentle lesson compared to a maxed out credit card as a young adult. And I could see as my kids were growing up with this, they were developing better decision making, they accepted the results of their decisions, and they knew what their money resources were. This really came to light when they went to college. After the second one graduated, we looked at each other and said, our kids never once called home to ask for money. Parents look at me and they're surprised when I say that because everybody talks about, the phone rings, it's a kid needing money. They never called home to ask for money because they knew what their money resources were. The money we contributed was in their accounts at school, so they were all set. They knew what they were doing. Now, our goal was, and this is what happened when we grew up, when we turned 18, we went to college or got a job. We both went to college, but we were pretty much out of the picture. Our parents were not supporting us anymore. However, today, 45% of parents support their adult children to the tune of about $1,400 a month. And I believe if we can help our kids better prepare to manage their money, this won't be as necessary. Yeah, parents are a safety net. We were there if there was a bump or there was a cash flow momentary crisis that we had to help them, but we weren't supporting them at all, month to month. And this would be a good goal for families. You want your kids to be able to be self-sufficient adults. So if you start when they're young, they will develop some of these skills that will serve them well. These are life skills, essential life skills. And as a mom, I did teach my kids to manage money using a cashless system, and I wrote a book about the process called the No-Cash Allowance. Parents provide allowance, but do it through a written account. They're transferring money they would spend on the kids anyway. Kids keep accurate records of money in and out. They have the autonomy to make their own decisions and mistakes and have age-appropriate spending responsibilities. All of this is explained in my book. But this kind of experience teaches confidence, decision-making, and responsibility. And now, more than ever, I fear that if parents don't start looking at their approach to allowances, their children may pay the price as adults. To read this complete blog, click on the link below and visit my website, where you can also order a copy of my book. You can download free allowance log sheets for kids starting with preschoolers. And please subscribe and tell other parents about this. Thanks for listening.